next one.
Chair. Mr. Chair.
I call the Honourable Nathan Guy.
Yeah, well, Mr. Chair, wasn't that a fascinating contribution from David Cunliffe? What he's forgotten about with the OIO, when his mate David Parker was in, signing off these large tracts of agricultural land. Last time I had a look at a time frame level, proportionality, they'd sold about twice as many as what the national government has sold. He's got a short-term memory loss. He's forgotten all that, and he stands up here and talks about we want high-quality foreign investment and we want good trade. And yet, that side of the house, they don't support the Trans-Pacific Partnership. And so I can't believe anything that David Cunliffe says actually has any credibility. What I want to talk about this evening on this final call from the government side on the primary sector is...
Point of order, the Honourable David Cunliffe.
I take offence to the fact that the member who's just resumed the chair could possibly infer from a rational opposition to the Trans-Pacific Partnership Agreement.
The member will be seated. That's a frivolous point of order. He knows it's not a genuine point of order. A man of his extensive experience should never have called it. The Honourable Nathan Guy.
Yeah, Mr. Chair, isn't it great when you get under David Cunliffe's skin? Anyway, what I wanted to do, moving right on to the issues that really matter, it's about the leadership of the Primary Production Select Committee. And I want to acknowledge Ian McKelvey and the great job that he does and the reviews that he's done over the last 12 months. I also want to talk about, because it hasn't been touched on this evening, we've had contributions that I've been in the chair about animal welfare, about irrigation, about water quality, about biosecurity. Those sort of things are very important. But what we haven't touched on in the primary sector is actually R&D, research and development, and how we are going to see the aspirational goal of doubling the value of our primary sector exports is by investing wisely in research and development. The Primary Growth Partnership is a classic example is where the government is partnering with industry, and we're starting to see some really tangible results. If I think about the precision seafood harvesting, the net design, and recently I was up there applauding the commercial sector in the Hauraki area, where they've now got 100% camera coverage and vessel monitoring systems, which is basically the GPS. As a result of that, and we link in with the fantastic net design, which means that fish are able to be selected for size at sea, which is fundamental to the overall ocean sustainability of our fishing stocks. They come on board the vessel in a better shape, another selection process there. Boats are now being designed with holding tanks to hold these fish in a pristine condition. This is all about sustainability. This is reaching into these very important lucrative markets that, of course, Labor and New Zealand First and the others don't want to support through the Trans-Pacific Partnership. This is about New Zealand investing in world-leading net technology, and I'm really excited about it. Another one that's really important for the forestry sector is the steep land harvester. It's been so successful, it's now been exported around the world. Designed by a couple of Kiwi guys in Nelson. Basically, it's a digger that operates on a steep land slope. And now they've designed it that you don't need to have an operator working this machine. Isn't that fantastic? Just last year, I saw the guy, my kids are not bad on the PlayStation, but I saw this operator, he was even better. Working remotely, off-site, the digger operating, felling trees, cable coming down with a sensor on the end of it and a grapple, picking up these trees, not a human on site. You think about the productivity advantages from this technology, but we shouldn't forget health and safety as well. So once again, New Zealand leading the world in research and technology. Also, we have just recently celebrated nearly $7 million in the Sustainable Farming Fund. It's been going actually since Labor's time, and it's been very successful. 16 years, $125 million has been invested in grassroots programs. Very, very successful. whereby farming groups, arable groups come forward to MPI with ideas. It's appraised by a technical group deciding which programs get funding. But this is about grassroots research and technology. Farmers and growers and foresters making decisions for themselves to actually help us realise our aspirational goal of doubling the value of our primary sector exports out to 2025. A huge amount happening. I'm very excited and very supportive of a big part of the New Zealand economy, which is our primary sector.
Members, the question is that the reports of committees relevant to the primary sector be noted. Those who are of that opinion will say aye. The contrary, no. The ayes have it. Members, the question now is that the reports of the committees relevant to the social development